Problem 14. 8.5% of 13.6 give what number? So let's do some translation here. Well, 8.5% is going to be 8.5% of is going to stand for a multiplication. 13.6 and give stands for equal, and what number is going to stand for our box. We identify which one is the product. In this case, this part here is the product, and you ask yourself, what are you missing? Well, we're missing the product, therefore we just have to multiply 8.5 times 13.6. Well, it's just 8.5%, but how can I get rid of this percent sign? Recall that you need to get rid of it to drop the percent sign, so you divide by 100. So since this is a decimal, I'll just move it 2 spaces, 1, 2, and my answer should be here. This should be 0.085 times 13.6. So let's multiply these two numbers here now. Well, I'm gonna just align it this way. That's 5800. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus, well, 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. Now let's multiply the 8. 8 times 6 is going to be 48. 24 plus 4 is 28. That will be 10. And well, since these are zeros, it's going to be a bunch of zeros, so we don't have to multiply them. So you're going to have 0.0 here, a 16 carry 1, 7 plus is 15 carry 1, it's going to be 1, it's going to be 1. So in total, how many decimals do we have? Let's count. I have 1 decimal here, and I have 3 decimals here. So in total, I'm going to have 4 decimals. So if I have 4 decimals in total, I have to move these how many spaces? 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer should be 1.156. Or you can just put 1.156. So that should be your missing number for problem number 14. Okay, so this will be the same as your problem number chapter 4 or chapter 7 that you were doing translation. So if you need help, just go over your vocabulary or the section that is language on your book. So it's gonna be the same. Of, give, what number, represents, give. So it's going to be the same technique here. Now, but in your question, they were asking you for 2 things. They were asking you to translate into a question with a missing statement. So that would have been this answer here, the one here. So that will be part 8, which was 8.5. So I forgot to recall that. That's what's gonna be done. That was the answer. And well, part B is going to be this final solution. Problem 15. So let's give the translation. Let's give the equation here, which is gonna be part 8. Part A is gonna be, well, 385 equals, well, just as the symbol equal, 9 and 1/6%. Of is going to stand for a multiplication, so you're gonna put times, and what number is going to stand for our lovely box. So now that's gonna be the equation. Now we have to solve. The first thing that you ask yourself is you identify who is the product. Well, these two are multiplying, so those are the multipliers. So this one that is by itself in one side of the equation is called the product. But and we're not missing the product. What are we missing actually? It's a multiplier. So let's recall from chapter 4, from chapter 7. If we're missing a multiplier, what do? We divide. We divide the product divided by the known multiplier. In this case, the product is going to be 385 divided by the known multiplier, the given multiplier, which is 9 and 1/6%. So we have to do this. But wait a minute. This part here is a percent. So how can I get rid of the percent? So we have to divide by 100. So 9/160 percent, 9/160 divided by 100 over 1. So 9 times 6 is 40. No, it's 54 plus 1 is 55 over 6 times 1 over 100. So let's see if we can reduce or simplify something here. 5 times 11, 3 times 2 times 1 over 5 times 20. Yes, I was able to reduce here. So let's see, 5 and 5 goes away, and that's everything goes away. So you're pretty much left with a 6 times 20, which is 120. So pretty much all of this part here, all of this is going to be 11 over 120. So 385 over 1 divided by that. So what are we having here? So this part was to drop the percent. So let's change this division into a multiplication statement. Now, as you can see, the only thing that you will be able to cancel out is the 11. So will 11 go into 385? Let's find that out. Probably just gonna do some scratch here on the side. Let's see, what can we do there? So 385 divided into 11, that goes 3 times 3 times this is 33. Subtract that 5. Oh, I think that goes 35 evenly. Yes. So it was 11 times 35. So let me just erase that so we can have space. So we will have 35 times 11 over 1 times 120 was 6 times 20, and that was for the 11. Well, the 11 was the only one that was able to cancel out. So you pretty much have 35 times 120. So what is 35 times 120? Let's find that out. 35 times 120. 0 times 5 is 10. 7. Leave a space. 5, 35, 0, 0, 12, 4200. So that should be the number, the missing number in that case. So once again, you just translate. If you have to drop the percent, you drop the percent and follow with the same operation. And you remember, your answer should always be reduced to its lowest term. So in number 16, it's saying what percent of 5,000 represents 3,500. So part 8, as always, is going to be to translate this. So what percent is going to be our box? So I just put there a box. In some cases they will tell you, oh, put the box with a percent sign in the middle. Inside, you can do that just to remind you that that was a percent, but just put a percent. I just put a box there because what percent anything is just a box. So I'll just always say just put a box there. Just put a box, and off is going to start 4 times, and 5,000 is 5,000, and represent means equal, and this is. And then once we have your equation, you say, okay, what am I missing there? Am I missing a multiplier? Am I missing a product? Well, first of all, let's identify who's our product here. These two things here that are multiplying each other are called multipliers. Therefore, this one should be the product. And I believe we're missing one of the multipliers, correct? So therefore, we must divide. But what am I going to divide? The product divided by the known multiplier. So in this case, the product is, well, because we label it, is there, is here, is 3,500 divided by the known multiplier, or the given multiplier, which is 5,000. So you can put that like this. Now we can get rid of those zeros. Only one zero there. So a pair of them. So we're left with 35, which is 5 times 7 over 1 over 5 times 10, and 1 5 goes away, and you're left with 7 over 10. Okay, you might say, okay, so that's my final answer. No. What are they asking you for? So that's what we always recall what they ask you. You're saying what percent. So this needs to be a percent. So how can I convert that into a percent? I need to make a percent, right? So I'm going to put here, so make a percent. And the make is going to stand for multiply by 100%. So 7 over 10 times 100%. Well, you can see this is over 1, and you can just get rid of some zeros. 7 times 10 is 70, so your final answer should be 70%. Problem 17. So let's keep doing this translation because they're asking you to do that. Part A should be 6.5. E stands for equal. What percent? So that's just going to be a box there. Of stands for multiplication, and we have a 2.6. So you ask yourself once again, what am I missing? Am I missing one of the multipliers? Am I missing the product? For that, you have to label which one is the product. The one that is by itself is the product, and these two guys here that are multiplier are called the multipliers. So it seems like we're missing one of the multipliers. Therefore, we must divide the product divided by the known multiplier. But who is the product? Well, because we label it, this tells you that this is the product divided by the given multiplier 2.6. we'll have to divide them, but they're decimals, so we have to use the long division. And one of the way that you can remember is the product always goes inside, so it will be 6.5 and it will be 2.6. However, this part here cannot be a decimal, therefore we have to move that. How many spaces? One space. And if I move one space, this should be moved one space too. Therefore, in clean, we should have 26 divided into 65. So just let me redo this somewhere here. I'm gonna break this column here. So let's divide here. So it's going to be 65. Well, 26 divided into 65. And the point goes here, and the point goes here. So that goes 0 times that is 0. Bring that guy down. So 65 goes into here twice. 2 times 26 is 52. We subtract that, that's 3, and this is going to be 1. Bring as many zeros as you're going to need, and you think you're going to need 1 0 here. So therefore, 130, how many times will that go? Let's see on the side. 26 times 5, 30, 130. Oh yes, wonderful. So that's going to be 130. Therefore, your missing number there should be 2.5. However, this needs to be a percent. Therefore, we have to multiply times 100%. If we're multiplying times 100%, the shortcut is to move this 2.5 2 spaces. So you're going to have 2.5 and move 2 spaces. 1, 2. And the point should be here, and fill this with zeros. Therefore, that should be 250%. So let's keep doing our translation here. And what number is going to stand for our box? Yields stands for equal. Well, this number is going to be 33 1/3%. Of stands for multiplication, and this thing here stands for 9 3/5. Now you ask yourself, you locate the product. Well, the product is the one by itself. Therefore, we're missing the product. If you're missing the product, just multiply it. However, so if I have to multiply these two things here, well, I need to drop the percent side. So let's drop the percent. If I want to drop the percent, I need to divide by 100. So 33 and 1/3 divided by 100. So well, let's combine 3 times 3 is 30. 99 plus 1 is 100 over 3 divided by 100 over 1. Change that into a multiplication statement. Oh, wonderful. Look what's happening here. They cancel out, so you're left with 1/3. So this part here, without the percent symbol, should be 1/3 times 9 3/5. So 1/3 times 9 times 5 is 45 plus 48 over 5. 1/3, let me make the space there, times, this will be 3 times 16 over 5. 3 and 3 goes away, and you are left with 16 over 5. So that should be the answer. Now you might ask, do I have to change that into an OR form? Yes, you have. Well, you don't have to. I'm sorry, you don't have to, but remember that this is already reduced to its lowest term. So why do more steps? I mean, if you wanted to change that into a mixed numeral, you can. So your answer should be 3 1/5. Or if you want to give it the decimal, you can also convert that to a decimal, but you will do more work. So just leave it at this. You leave it at 16 over 5. Okay, so that will be part B. Recall, to drop the percent, you need to divide by 100 and avoid using decimals as much as you can. So if you were to choose what to use between fraction or decimals, I would recommend you to just do fractions, but you're free to choose whatever you want to work with. However, fractions will always be much easier than decimals, because whenever you're working with decimal, you have some risk of dealing with repeating decimals. Like this 1/3 should be 33.33333, so it keeps repeating. So to prevent that, we'll avoid using decimals. In a fraction will always give you the exact solution.